Good times on everybody. Welcome back to ZSR for some more Skyward Sword Randomizer stuff. Got Gymnast versus CubeDavid in game 2. I got Tomo and I got Pippi here to talk. I got Joshy to help me push buttons. I'm gonna go push buttons and let them talk.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you,
Hi.
thank you. Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Okay, so last race, the last race, David's file name was the chemical formula for TNT. What is C7H6 H7 sorry, C7H6O.
I see that we have a naming theme here of the primary elements on the periodic table or something. We have the compound TNT and Gym.
Yes.
Incredible creativity all around.
Okay, so C7H6O appears to be a chemical used in dyes, fragrances, and personal care items. Also artificial flavoring. What?
Excellent.
I think I googled the wrong thing.
Anyway, also previously on Gymnast86 versus CubeDavid in Skyward Sword Randomizer Season 3 tournament, I believe Jim is up 1 game? Is that...
That is correct.
That is accurate? Neat. I was busy during that one, so I didn't get to watch it. Is there any cliff notes that I should know?
No, I'll be honest, that seed was very average.
Okay, so we're hoping that this seed is the opposite of average, which is to say, incredibly weird. I apologize in advance to our runners, in case they go back to look at this, for cursing them with whatever is about to happen in apparently 1 second. Hold on. There we go.
Good start.
Good start. Yeah. I tried to time it. It would have been really good. Anyway, let's check out what our dungeons are. Ooh.
No caves. That was it. No caves.
No caves. Okay. So,
that's it.
If anybody's unfamiliar, that means that every area is pinging. Every area has to have a barren blocker or a useful item, except for caves. We also have an interesting decision by David to go immediately into Fire Sanctuary, instead of going to check out hints.
2 free Sphere 0 checks.
True. Our Baron was just no Linearu Caves, which is only 2 checks. Jim is doing a much more kind of a traditional start, and we are starting by talking to Pieter and setting up to do Pietrus, and also grabbing our first hint. I missed what that hint was. Did you see what the hint was?
No, I was watching what David was doing.
And
our dungeons are Skyview,
Fire Sanctuary, Sandship. That was the last one.
Volcano entry.
But yeah, since we are starting with a starting tablet, that does mean we do have 2 entrances in Elden in actuality, which Volcano entry isn't the best starting entrance. It's not the worst either. It gets you a lot of early checks at the beginning of Elden. So, a pretty like quick check dense beginning to the seed.
Monster horn.
I also did not see what the hint was. I was paying attention to other things because
Cave
I'm
ski?
dumb. Cave ski.
Cave ski.
Cave ski. Cave ski.
That
That
sounds
is
like it made you really
possibly
happy.
required.
Do we start with a bow?
Yes, it was our starting item. We have a bow, by the way. Shout outs to our tracker for being better at paying attention to things than we are.
If you receive a bow from turning in crystals, is his name Botro?
I think we should respect his name choices, whatever they may be.
Yeah,
So if he sa-
this is Pippi's way of telling me I'm not funny.
No, if he says Botro, then I am going to respect Botro, okay? If you give me a bow, are you Bobo?
Sure.
Anyway, David's following Jim.
I could be in Lord of the Rings. Oh wait, that's Bilbo. Never mind.
That
dumb.
is Bilbo. I was gonna ask. Alright, what do we got? Beetle locked garbage and beetle locked that looks like a tablet.
That
I'm
looks
gonna
like
guess that's the Amber tablet?
it looked like Amber tablet, yeah.
Which if our hint was in fact beetle related, that would be good. Ooh, we got a sword. We're gonna need some of those. To Bomodachi, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Jim's having some calibration issues. Pulling out the bow there.
Damn. Calibration, skill issue.
A skill issue on the part of
courage.
your tea candles. Because we're all playing this with tea candles, right?
I hate that works. I know why that works. I hate that works.
Yeah, it's personally not something I would ever do.
If you are unaware, if you ever find yourself without a sensor bar for your Wiimote, you could just light two tea candles.
Yep.
And it'll work.
It'll work.
Because-
It'll be super, super jank because they are not a set distance apart from each other. Did Jim not get that? David just found the harp. I don't think Jim went over there.
I don't think so either.
I'm really hoping he's planning to come back for it and not that he mispinged that chest.
I don't even think he pinged it, is the thing.
Oh, he did get it? Okay.
Oh, he
I
did?
just-
Okay.
It just wasn't tracked. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Vamilia.
I know Jim got furores.
Well, he got something harp-looking inside of... Yeah, he got a harp-shaped object inside of Boko... Or, Magma Turf, rather, which,
Yeah.
Yeah, David is about to get.
I don't think
but
Jim went and got the actual harp.
Yeah, I don't think he got the harp. He did not get the harp. Okay, thank you, Pride, for going back for us.
That could be rough.
Yeah, I hope he goes back and gets it. If he forgets it, that might make this match a little bit more spicy. Let's be real. Oh, that is a required emerald tablet inside the Din's trial, which we don't have access to the Elden Trial Gate logically at this moment. He already got the harp? Okay.
Wait, is it on his UI?
No?
Yeah, because Prad's right. Schrodinger's harp. Listen, we'll find out in a minute.
Oh, okay. I have no idea now because he's not standing still long enough for me to check. Jim did not get the harp. I verified in the VOD. This truly is the quantum harp existence. I don't think he has the harp. one, because I'm gonna trust the VOD, and two, because otherwise when Phi's head appeared, it should have a little grayed out harp as well.
Yeah.
He got Feror's Courage, he got Din's Power. Those are two harp-shaped objects. They are not the actual harp. If you are wondering at home, you can tell the difference by, Link will hold the actual harp above his head, no matter, what the text says on screen. For any other song, he will hold it in front of him level with both hands, not do the whole da-da-da-da pose.
As you do. As you do.
As you do. Again, exactly. This has been a roller coaster. But if that truly is a misping, that might make this a little bit spicy. Because, like, in terms of knowing both of our players for this match, Jim is a very experienced technician in Skyward Sword movement and randomizer. But, listen, it's rando, it's anyone's game.
Literally.
Let's, you know, I'm all here for, give David the early lead and see what happens. Indeed, we do love game 3s. Also, that jump terrifies me literally every time. Literally every time.
Fair and Trial didn't have anything, no. Not according to what the
Yeah, I didn't see anything. Din's Trial, I believe, only had the Emerald Tablet. I didn't see a second item listed.
Yeah, Jim just booked it for Boko Base and then Magma Turf.
Oh, that's Bomb Bag. Okay,
Bomb
so
Bag.
that could be a chance to go back and get it, considering that Bomb Bag will open up a lot in Elden, and will make traversing Elden a lot faster. So, he might go back and find it then. I can't wait to find out that he intentionally never pinged it and just was trusting the vibes or something like that. You know? I can definitely read that text that fast when I'm the one playing the seed. If it's somebody else playing the seed, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. At least I don't think we have the same thing that, like... I think, Momo, you've said people do a lot in Wind Waker of checking their VOD to see what their hints said. I don't think people have gotten that intense in SSR yet.
Yeah, that's a lot easier to do in Wind Waker because we got all of our hints at once.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the settings, you can get all of your hints at once in Skyward Sword. Personally, I think the scattered hints is honestly easier for me to remember.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a fan. I'm gonna assume that David opened that chest hoping for money, but good news, David, you're about to get 300 rupees. That is the fastest, I believe, garbage item to find on Beetle Shop, because you do not have to wait for your money total to change. If you purchase 100 rupees for 100 rupees, the game knows that that will be a net zero difference, and it does not increase or decrease your total rupees. This has been Fun Facts.
You're so smart, Pippi.
I'm
Good man.
really not.
Baby rattle.
Neat. Since we only got one Baron region, that does mean something in Village is, like, either a Baron blocker, which could be, a secondary bottle, could be, you know, any unrequired, ooh, fire shield earrings, any sort of unrequired thing like that, or could be an actual item, and there's only 2 checks in Village. In these settings, it is Malara's crystals, which requires the gust bellows that we don't have, and turning in the baby rattle. So, did Chip talk to Beatrice?
No. Jim did this on Friday as well. Jim kind of skipped Beatrice.
SMH, wasn't he told that it was just Valentine's Day? Respect Beatrice.
Well, you know, sometimes.
That's the end of the sentence.
Sometimes. I was trying to think of something witty and I just gave up, so.
We also have, I believe David is doing a check that Jim can't do, which is Colin's letter check. Or item from Colin, specifically. And is garbage. We do not need mail. Gotta get that goth gamer girlfriend. That, I wouldn't, but I'd love a mod of Skyward Sword Randomizer that turns Beatrice into a goth gamer girlfriend. Anyway, we're turning in the baby rattle.
Hey, Skyward Sword Rando devs,
Oh,
get
that's
on
the
that.
claw shots.
Ooh, that's a spicy claw shot.
Oh, that's the claw shots. Well, we knew. Oh, master your batteries. Never mind.
Master batteries.
Master batteries. I have
Yo,
important
Ray, if you're
information.
reading this, if you're here.
This is kind of loaded early items. Really the biggest thing we're missing right now is the beetle. Because, like, Gust Bellows opens up some stuff, but other than that, and like, Whip opens up a tiny bit, I guess. But, like, the
beetle?
major B-wheel items are all found already.
Beetle would give us access to Amber Tablet,
Yes.
and we already have Claw Shots, Cave's Key, and Bombs, so that's pretty huge.
Yeah, we're really looking for that one. What did David just get?
Fire Shield Earrings.
Oh, he only did the first one. Right, he didn't get the bottle yet, because the bottle is in shop. Got it.
Zelda had Greg!
Oh, thanks. Thanks for keeping a single dollar in your closet.
You know what? Sometimes
You never know when you're gonna need your closet dollar. Jim is doing 5 loose. Jim, please, you have access to Farron.
You mean Eldon?
No, he has access to Farron. If he goes to Eldon to get his harp, then he can get access to Farron. We know where the Emerald Tablet is.
You know what? That's true.
I
Wait,
didn't misspeak. I was just not thinking linearly.
I didn't consider that if Jim doesn't realize that he didn't ping, then he could be potentially very early bottlenecked.
No,
Which might be what's going on here. Okay, well.
He's not truly bottlenecked at the moment, because he has decided to do 5 loose, but it might possibly be partially to route in this hint stone up here, as well, but he also still can do 2 checks from Oriel and Pero. He's got a little bit, and also he can go do back half of Eldon now with bombs. So, like, he's not... Oh, Sky before Tantalus, I see.
Yes.
But now we are going to turn in our Bat 5 and 10.
It's going to forever bug me that he now has 11 crystals.
I do
Instead
this
of
in all
10.
sanity all the time.
Yeah, that was Sky to Tantalus.
Yeah, Also, for a hot second, I thought he was gonna do daytime patrol at night, and it was going to bother me. Oh, a second bottle. Oh, a second pouch.
All right,
Let's
David's
go.
about to get claw shots.
David is about to get claw shots.
Daytime patrol at night is kind of just a flex. It's similar to doing the Mesa roll clip at night in Wind Waker.
I do the Mesa roll clip at night in Wind Waker to practice roll clipping.
Yeah,
I
but roll
don't think I
clipping
need to
sucks.
practice daytime patrol.
Yeah, but roll clipping sucks.
Yeah, and daytime patrol is a very easy trick. Hey, everyone at home, if you want to learn a Skyward Sword trick, have you tried jumping onto the second gravestone? You don't even need to jump slash. You can just straight up jump. Where is Jim going, by the way?
I have no waterfall cave.
Waterfall
I guess.
cave.
Oh yeah, because he can't dive at night.
I didn't make it today. Got it. But yeah, jumping on top of the second gravestone, front hopping forward and side hopping into the void. It is literally as easy as that. You literally have nothing else to do. It's very baby easy. That is the third bottle. I'm so excited for bottle percent. I mean, he can warp back to Elden, so...
I think that's what's gonna happen, is Jim's gonna probably grab these 2 loose crystals for later. While he's down here.
Yeah. Okay, also, with these dungeons as your spread, Momo, do you create a bit magic file?
Nah.
I feel like I would, because a bit magic file in Fire Sanctuary usually is about a break-even proposition. It saves about as much time as it loses, but you also get the free opportunity to do Tentalus skip if the situation calls for it. So I would probably do it, but I like my bit magic files. I like my bit magic files.
Refuse to ever learn Tentacle skip.
But it's so easy.
Based on principle.
It's so easy. It's not actually.
It's not. And also, I personally have a vendetta against of Tentacle skip because it feels like cheating to me, even though it's not.
Listen, you strike the crest.
Yes, this is
true.
true.
Oh, hey, look, we found Greg. Shouts to Jim remembering that you can do this. I always forget that you can do this. You can just go backwards, and it is faster in certain instances if you have bombs. I am concerned, though, that doesn't, unless he runs down here, nope, we're going up, that doesn't lead you back to Ascent. So, please get back to Ascent at some point.
Yeah,
please.
He's skipping harp right now.
See, those two items, they're not harp. They're not harp. Do you know why they're not harp? Because I'm gonna harp on this. You missed harp. Anyway. Oh god, that my stream quality wasn't high enough. That was Pair of Armos.
Chest and Shack.
Oh, that was Chest and Shack?
Yeah,
I thought that said Pair of Armos. Oh, we're going down!
Why would it say Pair of Armos? We don't have LMF.
We don't have LMF. I can't read. Also, like, on my screen, it's rendering each stream at, like, a horrendous quality.
Okay,
oh, hey,
yeah, he saw the ping. He saw the ping.
You see that ping over there? Please go back and get it. For my insanity.
Because here's the thing, right? I think Jim is currently out of checks regardless.
he could do waterfall chest in Summit. He has fire shield earrings.
This is true.
And claw shots. And who's in the mood for lawn darts? Sorry, that's the voice I was doing and I needed to call it out. Yeah! Open that chest! Woo! Farron access!
Yeah!
I'm way too excited about this.
Yeah! Bottle for David!
Woo! Okay, now I can stop harping on the harp. And I can stop harping on the harping on the harp joke.
Okay.
I promise this will be the last
Pippi,
time.
shut up.
I'm sorry.
I'm joking. You're very funny.
Thank you. Listen, if I can't be useful as a commentator, I can at least say the silly goofs and gaffs. Also, very nice harp cancel. Very nice harp cancel. Man, I wish I could do harp cancel. Oh, and did you see David land that? That was so clean.
It was clean.
Very clean.
Okay, how do these people read this fast?
You look for keywords.
I saw the word beetle.
Yep. I mean, if, like, I am in control of, what the screen is doing. Like, this is my personal argument for cryptic hints. Cryptic hints are great because, they have less overlapping language. Because, like, there are multiple things that are labeled as, item behind digging in location. However, if you see the word fairies with cryptic hints on, that's fairies at the summit. Oh, hey, spiral charge. Like, cryptic hints lends itself better to, reading exactly 2 words and knowing the entirety of the content of your hint. No one can change my mind.
I also love Relic Shuffle. Relic Shuffle's really fun.
It's so good. It's so good. I was about to say, Jim, does that work? I don't think it does.
Alrighty. Did David do the call-in harp check?
Yes. So
Okay.
David is ahead by that check on Skyloft. And Jim has done more in Elden, I believe. But oh, another nice harp cancel. My god. Y'all got skills? I don't got skills. We'll also see, so Jim has opted for assuming that he does have to complete the trial and getting all of the tiers all along the way. He's following basically the expected speedrun route. Ooh, nice. And we'll see. David might be able to make up some time on Jim if he decides not to get all the tiers and doesn't have to. But similarly, could lose a lot of time if he finds all of the shuffled relics, which there should only be 3 of, and does not find what he's looking for. Considering that I didn't see how many items are in this trial that are possibly useful, but it was more than 1, yeah, I would definitely, like, assume that you're going to have to finish the trial until proven otherwise. It seems like a safer bet, but it is an opportunity technically to make up time if you wanted to play it risky. Also, I'm just not a gambler. I would 100% just be like, ooh, trial movement, and, yes, Zelda's closet was, in fact, a rupee named Greg. That is where she put that. I would be interested to know if Jim's gonna go check out that. No? He might have just peeked it. I don't think that was our tablet.
I don't think so either.
So I think they do have to complete the trial.
I really like this music that David's got going on.
Oh, I have their tunes turned off. Does that make me a terrible commentator?
No.
Hi, fun fact, I don't like listening to music packs. I find them very distracting. Like, I'm so boring. All told, though, this is so far a pretty darn close race. We've made some very different decisions early on. Also, of note, I don't think we went over this earlier, but Jim has not been into Fire Sanctuary. Those first couple checks in Fire Sanctuary are still on the docket for him, and David did do that. Shuffled Relics is a setting in the randomizer where you have up to 11 total items per trial. So you're going to have one trial item, which is going to be your trial reward, which you get for turning in all of the tiers in the trial. You know, where you would get this item that Jim just got. But you also have up to 10 dusk relics around the trial that can be randomized. Not all settings that have dusk relic shuffle on have exactly 10 items turned on, so it can be anywhere between 0 and 10. You can pick that when you pick your settings. And for Season 3 in particular, there are 3 Dusk Relics shuffled. So those are items that, like, you don't need tiers for them. They're marked with the different color lights, like you can see on David's screen. You can just run over and pick those up, like they're just loose items. But with the current hints that we're using for Season 3, you don't know if the item being hinted is behind the tiers or is just out in the open. So, it's an interesting setup for sure. I like Dusk Relic Shuffle 6. No, they're just, like, in... it has a set of locations it picks from, which would have just Dusk Relics in the vanilla game that have been swapped out for items. Oh no, David!
Oh, great. Thankfully, there's just one right there.
Yes. That is a pretty safe place to get seen. Actually, anywhere on the sand slope is a pretty safe place to get seen. Because it takes forever for one of the watchers to get down there, but scary music. Also, Jim is prioritizing his hints and going into the front half of this room, even though our starting location is in the back half of this room. Because you cannot do this room backwards. I believe the bird statues are nothing. Oh, Fledge is a progressive beetle. I missed that one. I missed that one. I should have been looking at the hints.
I feel like you kind of might want to prio that at some point.
Yeah, especially with our Amber tablet being Beetle locked. Beetle opens up a lot in Farron, and also getting the Amber tablet would give you access to a lot, considering that we already have bombs and claw shots, and also all we really need is C chart, and we have pretty much full access to Sandship. This is true. This is Bottle Seed. Welcome to Bottle Seed. We are, in fact, doing bottle things, and while I don't have the audio on, I do believe this is the part of the seed where we go, wow!
This is true. This is true.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We also have David doing one of our favorite little sassy side hops down. We got a path hint of some part of Skyloft before G2. I don't remember which one. It was the second hint stone in Summit. It was something to G2. Did anybody see what it was? I just read Skyloft and G2, and then Jim dismissed the text message, and that makes it sound like his gossip stones are texting him. It was Laneru 2 Imprisoned 2. Ah, that makes sense. Imprisoned 2, the fight that is not turned on in these settings. Or any settings. Don't worry about it.
I'm surprised Jim is not grabbing the beetle.
He's probably hoping that he doesn't have to. That being said, Skyview is one of our dungeons. Jim, that's a void. But Skyview is one of our dungeons, and, with this starting location, Beetle would give you full access. I once again was not ready for non-cryptic hints, and when Laneru San sees something or other, that's a lot of words. My brother, he went to the wrong void! Thank you, Pride. Okay, we are about to see our hints all over again. Because I'm sure that David's about to see them.
This is the beauty of having 2 runners.
They say that 2 heads are better than 1, but listen, 1 runner can do far better than 2 commentators, if they're really vibing. With Skipper's Retreat, I think it was that was dead because it didn't have a required text on it, so... assumedly, Skipper's Retreat is not anything. Jim cannot full clear here, as, he does not have Beetle, but he can talk to some Kikwis. He sure can. That is Water Dragon Scale. Okay, so we're gonna be staying here for a bit. We have no sister in this seed, so, we will not be getting dungeon access through our Water Dragon Scale, but it still does unlock, logically, 8 checks in Floria. Also, come on, Jim, not doing the crane move? Do the crane move. Crane found tech.
Jim's run is going swimmingly. That's really funny.
I agree. This also has been, Skyward Sword any % runner forgets that, you have the sailcloth again. Like, for the millionth time. I really thought Jim was just gonna miss the platform, and then he pulled out the sailcloth, and I was like, oh! Thank you! Also, Momo, I have bad news.
Oh no.
We were memeing and I missed what the hint said again. On David's screen. I wasn't looking at it. I'm... That's not on me. Oopsies.
I was not looking at it either.
Alright, so Jim might not have a beetle, but he can confirm that both of those, checks are nothing. He might be running off of the assumption that, I'm assuming the beetle in, Fledge check was not hinted as required, so I'm assuming he's decided that because it's not required, there is almost assuredly a faster beetle somewhere. It just might take him a bit to get. Can we see what that is? I could not see what that is. That was 2 pixels.
Is that Tim?
I thought
I
it
don't think
was
so.
a goddess plume, so a
Find
beetle
out.
will always be either possibly required or required. It'll never be marked as not required with the current requirement hints. So that doesn't even guarantee that it is required. Though we do know it is required at some point to have a beetle. I believe every projectile is considered... Yal can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think every projectile is considered possibly required at minimum. Froke. That Froke.
You can peek that?
You can! I learned this recently. I don't know how I didn't know this for the longest time. It's typically slower than just getting the check, but if you miss the Froke lineup, you can. Jim, don't die. I told you not to! David's in Skyview. Yal is currently racing in ZSR1. You don't know if he's watching this race. I should hope that Yal is focused on his own race, but shoutouts to Yal. He's great. That's true. Neither of our runners went for Beetle. My goodness. In Skyview without a Beetle is a kind of rough place to be because you can't peek most of the Beetle locked stuff in Skyview. You just have to... Jim, what are you doing? The retread of Skyview with the Beetle, which a little dicey. Oh, we have the gamer setup from David. Yo, that roll is actually super hard. Can we get cheers for David? That roll sucks. That was very clean. And that is Colin's letter, not an archipelago item. Meanwhile, Jim has acquired the inferior projectile. And David has died. This is thrilling commentary, right? Momo, did you leave me all alone?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Momo, don't leave me alone. I have separation anxiety.
Oh no.
I'm gonna assume that Jim is on his way to Sealed Grounds and that David is doing the wait, did David make a bit magic file?
Yes, David did.
Okay. I missed
Where
that.
was Scale? Scale was
Scale-
on upper bombable.
Yeah. Kiki reward was something, and Brig is a beetle. I didn't see what the thing was.
Oh, guys, we get to judge Jim's art.
All right. Did Jim miss his calling and illustration, or do we get to point and laugh?
I am really surprised to see the sky view without the beetle.
Yeah. I will say though, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that we on David's side did we find the small key in front half? Oh no, we must have. We did.
Yeah.
Because he has one. Okay. So we found the small key in front half and just did not use it and did the bit warp instead. Which, with claw shots, I think it's probably just faster to go in intended than, do the bit warp. Also, oh, hey, Jim found a beetle. Yo.
So, Jim found a beetle, which means I imagine Jim's gonna go do Skyview, but, the thing I'm curious about is, one of our other beetles is on Brig.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like Fledge is almost worth it if you find yourself in the position where you need the hook beetle.
Yeah, though, there's only 2 checks that could require a hook beetle, without, like, you know, being able to skirt around the requirement, considering that we have bombs, and I think both of these are pretty skilled runners, and... Oh, that's the Gust Bellows. So I think that personally, I would probably not bother. Oh, just kidding. We do also have some hook beetle locked stuff in Fire Sanctuary. But yeah, personally, I would like probably put that off for a decently long time because you can ping almost all of those checks, and there is a chance that you never get that deep in Fire Sanctuary, where it would matter. So, like, you hope you find the last beetle somewhere, but it's okay. Jim opting for not doing the gamer role. SMH. Yes, that is true. So Jim has entered Skyview with a beetle, and David is exiting still without a beetle. I'm assuming David was really hoping that he would find his beetle in Skyview. That did not happen. But Jim can almost full clear. He doesn't have digging mitts, so he cannot find out what is in the mitts lock chest or check. Sorry, but oh, that's a sassy Staldra. But he can single dip the rest of the dungeon, and if he does wind up having to go back for the mitts lock check, it is a single check, and it is in the front of the dungeon. It's pretty easy to access. It's annoying if you have to go back for it, but it's not a huge time sink. If the boss key is mitts locked, then we laugh.
A time sink as opposed to a time faucet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jim is also opting for not doing the bit warp, which also because Jim got Water Dragon Scale before coming into Skyview, he's going to have a little bit of a more optimized way through because he doesn't actually have to do the Stalfos fight. He can just run in and get the chest. He didn't have to navigate around the bars at the beginning, the like wooden planks that are in the way, because he's navigating Skyview 2 and not Skyview 1. No, the time toilet is in Ancient Cistern. Thank you for allowing me to make very dumb jokes. Thank you very much. All right, time to see if... Oh, there's H. We will not have to come back with mitts in order to finish the dungeon. Good to know.
Waiting for Mitts to like be the final Tringle or something in this dungeon.
Oh, it'd be so funny.
Let's be real, you full clear before coming back. Like,
probably. Jim also did just get sassed at by the Staldra there.
so
And did get a sword. Very nice.
we're sort of just trading checks while Jim is able to clear Skyview just a little bit more efficiently with that beetle. Why is he leaving?
I think he's decided that doing the bit warp to get to the end is faster than doing behind 3 eyes, which has his small key. That's a pretty wild choice, honestly, but you know what? Sure.
I respect it. Swords are progressive.
Yes. We have progressive swords that go from Practice Sword, which is our starting sword, at 1 sword, up to True Master Sword, which would be 6 swords. However, only Master Sword is required, so we only have to get to 5. I do believe these are swords of the Skyward variety, yes. Though variety runs HD. Da-da-da. Woo! That is also true. Wait, was the chest behind 3 eyes pinging? I assumed it was, but it might not be, and our dig spot might have the second small key.
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't notice because I'm not good at noticing, apparently. We'll find out. There was a very early sword in Magma Turf, so they both picked up the early sword.
We also start with training sword in these settings.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, we do. We start with training sword because the ability to douse significantly changes the early pace of a run. Jim's theme of the day is being bullied by soldiers. Oh no, friends. But it significantly changes the pace of the early game of the run, and it can be wildly like different early games for runners based on whether or not they got their first sword quickly. So being able to douse from the beginning just kind of makes a lot of races more even, which we like that. Training sword is 1 sword. They were at Goddess Sword before, and now Jim is at Goddess Long Sword, while David is still at Goddess Sword. Okay, so I think behind 3 eyes was pinging? Was it? H, by the way.
H. So it's possible that the dig spot is the small key, and then 3 eyes is just something else.
Yeah, it's possible if it was pinging that we are just abandoning a check. However, Jim probably knows what he's doing. I probably don't. This has been slightly abbreviated, Yerahim 1. I cannot tell what that peak is on David's side.
Yeah, it's really tiny, whatever it is.
Yeah, it might be too short of a model to stand up high enough, which, unfortunate that I think both of our runners are gonna miss that at the moment. But David is about to go get his beetle and probably is about to be really sad that he hasn't had it until now.
You just nod and trust runners? That's a big, big mood.
Oh, harp-shaped object. The only one it could be. Oh no, just kidding. I didn't realize we didn't have... Mitts?
Mitts in Skylift Trial.
I always forget that Song of the Hero exists because I just break into the trial whenever possible. It's not true. I don't do that in Season 3 settings. I just do it in every other setting string under the sun.
Wallet.
Oh, Jim got paid? Alright, now we have completed one dungeon, which is pretty good. Jim's got some options of where to go. We'll see where he's headed to. Probably gonna go pick up those mitts, mayhaps.
I imagine so.
Though there is no guarantee that the mitts are actually technically required. They're logically required. They are always logically required to beat Fire Sanctuary. But...
It was mitts and one other item, so...
I would love it if it's mitts and also mitts.
That would be so funny.
Excellent harp cancel, once again. Literally, how do you do this? Possibly Jim might be also trying to delay going to pick up his Amber tablet, which is what David is on his way to do right now. But he might be trying to delay picking up his Amber tablet until he gets the C chart, and oh, that's probably our one other useful item right there. And is able to guarantee that he can pretty much single dip all of Linearu. This is an interesting route we're taking through Skyloft
I think
Trial.
he's just checking the,
Oh, you missed one. There we go. Yeah, he might be prioritizing the glowy boys.
What was that?
Eldenor.
It literally looked like a muffin sitting on the ground.
It was also a muffin sitting on the ground. Sorry, I left that there.
Oh, yeah. I keep telling you to clean up after yourself.
I know, right? I have a problem. to be clear, I would never do that to a muffin. Muffins are delicious.
Muffins
they
are
should be
so
eaten.
good.
I love muffins. Oh, there's
There
our
they
mitts.
are.
All right. So now Jim can make an abbreviated trip through here. And we're running through the waking water anyway. I'm assuming he had accepted that he was about to go through the waking water already, but that corridor he just ran through fills up with waking water. Also, David has gone direct line to Sand Sea, so we don't actually need the sea chart to get sand. Or no, we do need the sea chart rather. We don't actually need Caves Key, but we have Caves Key. Ignore me. But we're about to see some new checks from David as well. Jim is going into Oriel and Pero's house?
Doing more loose to get bat 30?
Apparently.
Because I think that puts him at 29. Needs a nap. Me too.
Yeah, what a mood. Hi, you've got some eepy commentators today.
Yeah. I loved getting a message at like 6 in the morning when I hadn't gone to bed yet. Hey, do you want to commentate the race with me later?
Hi, that's me. Hi, that's me. I make bad decisions sometimes and go, yo, commentating a race sounds like fun right now.
Because
Listen,
it is fun.
We're just trying to bring in the eepy cozy vibes. And then you can have your own eepy cozy race. We'll ask, somebody remind me, when the runners come in for their interview, we will ask the runners how eepy they are. Oh, right, Jim's doing item in Bird's Nest. I was wondering why we were going up there. I forgot we picked up Billows. Hey, get heart.
What?
We got a heart. David just...
Jim... I feel like I know Jim well enough to know that he's like in a permanent state of EP.
Oh, that's another
Ooh.
beetle.
Okay, so we know the location of all 4 beetles.
Yup. That probably means we are not getting any of the other beetles because those 2 checks you saw David do earlier outside of Pirate's Stronghold were the only quick beetle locked checks in the seed, and you can do them with any beetle. It's just easier with quick beetle.
I wonder if David feels like the game's mocking him at this point for doing Skyview without Beetle. I feel like that often happens if whenever you do Skyview without Beetle. Oh, Mock-Movements!
Oh, that was pretty funny. Oh, that's a mean location for the whip.
That is an awful location for the whip.
That's such a mean location for the whip. If anybody doesn't know, you can just make some of the movement in Pirates easier by having the whip. You can use it to make Link drop the orb instantly, which is faster. But you had to do it without the whip, which it like saves like a negligible amount of time, but it feels so much good. Well, how do you feel about getting loose crystals, Jim? You can't answer me. He feels warped to start.
I feel like his batteries are depleted.
Master Jim, I have important information.
So we've got both runners taking two very different directions here now.
No.
Which makes for an interesting race.
Oh, we're doing fairies at the summit. on Jim's side, and having the whip now is good for David. The best thing for David right now would be if the C chart is at Skipper's.
Yeah.
Like, then he would just be able to immediately go in to Sandship and do essentially a full clear. Do you mean the Amber Tablet? Yeah, the Amber Tablet is Beetle, Locked, and Eldin. We peeked it earlier. So Jim does know where it is. He's just been delaying it. At least I think he knows where it is. Also, this is an interesting choice of how to navigate Eldin. But sure, it works.
Let him cook.
I'm letting him cook.
Meanwhile, David is doing skippers.
So the hint about skippers that we received earlier was specifically for chest and shack, which is the only chest at Skippers that does not ping because it is inside a separate loading zone. So if David saw that hint, which I believe he did, that means oh, interesting items on both
I
sides.
think that's a gratitude crystal pack.
Neat. But so since David saw that hint, he doesn't have to go all the way to the top of Skipper's since nothing past where he was pinging. He only had to go to the pinging check. But it's just that one check that gets hinted. GG's, chat. Also, Jim is getting laughed at by the seed for doing 10 loose crystals at this point, is it?
Yeah.
Chat, how do you feel about the lack of Doritos? There hasn't been a lot of Doritos. Which is to say our bag is empty.
Also, we never did the thing. Happy post 1 hour. Shout out to our trackers, our lovely restreamers, and my co-commentator. And make sure to follow the runners.
Shoutouts to my co-commentator, not hers. Momo's neat.
What?
You're neat. Jim dug up $1.
Good job, Jim. I love the variety of checks we're seeing right now.
Yeah?
Plat's chest is a piece of heart.
Alright. That is good to know before going into, stamina issue, before going into Fire Sanctuary. Lower bombable is not required, which we knew, and Triforce of Wisdom was somewhere. Oh my goodness, that's a Triforce! I think that was Courage, though, not Wisdom. Stamina issue is, the mantra of pretty much every Skyward Sword runner, be it rando, vanilla speedruns, anything. What did we just pick up on that pillar?
Slingshot.
Oh, a slingshot. Does that mean we're mighty? We're mighty.
Oh, we are mighty!
We're mighty! And Jim's gonna finally get his Amber Tablet that we've known about since the beginning of the seed. But also because he has mitts, he can go straight on in to do the pinging check in here. He also does have magma mitts, so he can just do pretty much the entirety of Boko base. And
Fire Sanctuary.
And no, he doesn't have Hook Beetle. So he can't quite do all of Fire Sanctuary.
This is true, I forgot about that.
We have not seen Tim yet. But, David on a completely different track. David go into mines, which is a good idea to do mines before Linear proper, even though mines sucks. And I'm gonna assume, based on the pings that, and the fact that we have bombs, that, we're probably death warping back. Yeah, we're death warping back after getting this check, and then not completing mines. Which is a smart move. Also, Jim is indeed going to Boko Base.
Seeing most of Linearu from David, seeing almost all of Eldon from Jim.
Yeah, very, very similar starts for this seed, but very different divergence at this moment. That looked like a no ping in outdoor Boko Base to my eye, but there are also 4 more checks inside Boko Summit. So this isn't fruitless yet, except for the fact that it is fruitless because we already found the life tree fruit. Hi, I don't know why I'm so full of puns today. I'm really sorry.
I'm always feeling a little fruity.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Well, this might actually be fruitless. I'm so sorry for cursing you, Jim. Also, welcome in, ZeldaSpeedRuns. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to more Skyward Sword.
How's it shaking? We're shaking.
I did have a question for Yal, the expert on all things required. Is it every projectile item that is never listed as unrequired? It's always possibly required because it's a projectile? Or is it just beetles? Yo, our Baron blocker was 5 gratitude crystals.
Let's go. Wait,
this is not Wind Waker? That's true.
We do have 2 Wind Waker runners right now.
That was an interesting place to hop directly into the void on David's side. Gonna assume that wasn't intentional. Oh, is that the Wind Waker color preset?
Yeah, it is.
That's cute. I always wear the lobster shirt, but I always do it in different colors, so I didn't know what the Wind Waker color set looked like. Oh, that's where that bomb lives now. But yeah, David's just working his way through Linearu. Well, I'm assuming, yeah, Jim's gonna have to start catching up in Linearu because the rest of Eldon was not much.
So currently we're missing 2 triangles and 2 swords.
This is
and
true.
C-chart.
Just kidding, we are missing 1 Tringle because David just got one.
Well,
Just needed to make a liar out of you. It's kind of a rude thing to do, honestly.
That'll do it.
That'll
do
do
it.
Alright, Jim is about to go get his missing whip, his missing beetle, and oh no, there was also a sword in Sansi. I don't remember what else was in Sansi. And David's doing new checks, and David's gonna do a brake slide. Ooh, we got the brake slide method. The double brake slide, the double brake slide, the double brake slide stutter sprint. Gorgeous. No, we only know where 2 of the Tringles are. I believe there was a Tringle hint earlier. I did not see what it said. Oh, that's our sea chart.
It is sea chart. So that's all of Sandship available.
Yep. But one of our Tringles is on a dig spot, and one of our Tringles is in Lanayru on saving the caged robot. We're still looking for the 3rd. There was a sword in Sansi, I believe, in Skipper's Retreat. Am I correct in that? Let's look at a sword. Yeah, that's a long sword.
Yes.
Yeah, what Triforce piece did David find? I don't know.
Great question.
I think Jim found courage. I'm not sure on that, but that's what my eyeballs want me to believe. I don't always trust my eyeballs, though. Interesting, though. So, Jim did have quite a bit of a lead coming out of Skyview, especially considering that he could finish the dungeon. And David's routing kind of just worked out a lot better. In terms of choosing Lanayru first instead of delaying it. Just that Jim has checked a lot of checks that David hasn't. They've just been a Triforce and not a whole ton else. But it seems Jim's decided to actually bail on the rest of Sansi and Lanayru, and it is time for dungeoneering. We're going to do Fire Sanctuary. I'm assuming he is still hoping that he will not have to go do the rest of Lanayru. I've got bad news for you. Oop doop. C chart was in Lanayru, yeah.
It was on Fire Node.
Yeah, it was Fire Node shortcut chest, I believe.
Yeah.
Fire Node shortcut chest. It seems Jim is doing an RBM, specifically the barrels RBM, which in Fire Sanctuary will spawn the second trap magma chest. So he is hoping to skip doing the rescuing the second trap magma sequence. Back in time is allowed in standard Skyward Sword rando races, with a couple of exceptions, all of which are silly and complicated and have to do with things that usually crash. So sensible back in time is very allowed. Yes, as Legend said, the main thing is we cannot do Farron bit. We cannot leave Skyloft back in time. But Fire Sanctuary is pretty known for how much back in time can break things. We do know that Platt's chest is dead because that was hinted earlier. I believe Jim saw that hint. Did he? I don't remember. But if he knows that Platt's chest is dead, that is one RBM he does not have to do, is that you can spawn Platt's chest without having to do the little diggy mission. But he still can jump to back half of Fire Sanctuary and do back half first if he so chooses. And it seems like we do know that Platt's chest is dead and we are going straight to back half. Momo, back half or front half? Choose carefully.
You know, I'm still not happy with what happened during Remlets.
No. I said I was sorry.
So for context, Pippi and I were in the same Remlets group, and I lost to her in our final match because I went back half in Fire Sanctuary because I know that's what she always does.
Oh, hey, look!
And that was the one time she went front half.
There were a lot of pings in front half. Oh, Jim's doing the I don't need a setup, I believe in myself. To which I say, no, man, my anxiety. Please think of my anxiety. But yes, this room does not exist. And back half is paying off at the moment. That the RBM that Jim did spawned in that chest that he opened. And using it, he has gotten the boss key immediately. Very lucky. And is now on his way straight to the boss door and can, if he wants to, gamble that front half is not useful and just complete the dungeon and then leave and then try to go finish Sandship, which we don't know if the rest of the dungeon is useful at the moment. Oh darn, I missed Stern and combo lock pings. Did you see them?
One of them was pinging.
Okay, which one?
Good question.
Okay, chat, who wants to gamble? Stern or combo lock? I can usually tell based on where David pinged, but I wasn't looking, so don't ask me. Think I get close enough to Stern? You can tell it's just kind of vibes based. It's just kind of vibes based. Though it seems like David thinks it's Stern. If you don't have to do chest at Stern, you can skip this section provided that you have bombs, which we do have. But if you're not confident that you don't have to do Stern, then it is best to just climb the mast anyway, because skipping the mast doesn't save that much time. And
also hard without a small key. Harder.
Yeah, if you skip the mast and then have to go back for Stern because you mispinged, the dungeon behavior gets a little jank. Just a little jank. Also, did you see if any of the other pings or the chests in back half were anything? I'm assuming they weren't.
No.
No, you didn't see it, or no, they weren't anything?
Yes.
Thank you for clearing that up.
No, I don't think they were pinging.
Okay. Alright, Q, by the way, because, and it was Stern. If you said Stern, Good on ya, you're a good bean. David's a good bean. This seed is date night with Girahim just a little bit. Just a little bit.
If Girahim moonwalked, he would be Girahee. That wasn't funny. Don't laugh at that.
I'm sorry,
Don't
I didn't see it coming.
Don't laugh at that. That was not funny.
Oh my god. This is the opposite of please clap. Alright, Jim has technically completed 2 out of our 3 dungeons. However, he has not cleared half of the dungeon, so, technically is the operative word there. A sense of humor is a big responsibility that apparently the universe did not decide that I was worthy of.
Me neither. I'm just kidding. I'm one of the funniest people I know sometimes.
I'm not. Yeah, generally it's pretty good routing to try to prioritize your dungeons as soon as you think you can do them as fast as possible. Oh, Jim's abandoning front half. Just because you know you're gonna have to go finish them at some point anyway. So if you don't have something else that you're waiting for that would help you finish them faster, like, it's a pretty good idea to kind of prioritize heading to dungeons in Skyward Sword Randomizer. This is the thing that I don't understand about routing for Wind Waker, is that, like, my brain is like, the second that I can finish a dungeon, I'm going to finish a dungeon. And Wind Waker is like, hey, but did you know you can save, like, infinite time if you, like, can
Just
go mode your
the
dungeons?
dungeon. Yeah.
Because they have boss key skips, and I'm like, no, I never considered this. Nope. But Jim now will have to go clear Lineru, which is what Golden, sorry, I was reading chat, is what David has over him at the moment. So we have had very, very different routing for the back half of the seed, and neat, interesting. I like it. I like it. I've never seen the phrase Kikwi Zaza before. This was the entire thought.
I love the red particles.
They do look very
nice. It's
nice.
so pretty.
They do look very, very nice. Shoutouts to Ray Storm Thunder. Thank you so much for making the particle packs that like the majority of the community uses at this point. They're gorgeous. I love them. Gives a little personal flavor to all of the oh, there's our sword. All of the runners. Alright, Jim is only looking for 1 sword at this point.
What?
Yeah?
Are we still missing a Tringle?
We are also missing a Tringle, but of swords. He's looking for 1 sword.
Oh, okay.
David is resting his legs. Legs get tired. Oh, and he's going into Skirvo. Unfortunate place for boss key to maybe be.
Unlimited swords, but no swords.
Oh, Skirvo was hinted boss key. I missed that hint. Thank you.
Oh, I did see that. I, for some reason, forgot about it because of the Brig hint.
Yeah, I remembered the Brig hint and that we weren't gonna do Brig. Brig is a really long check, and I'm sure that we are grateful to not have to do it. But was there anything in treasure room other than the small keys?
No, it's just the small keys.
Isn't there a Skirvo RBM?
There is. I think all it does is spawn in the chest, though.
You still need the small key to get to it?
Unless you do that very niche thing that Sledgen found.
Let's hear it for a very niche thing that Sledgen found.
And I don't even know if it actually works. Or you high flip, yeah.
How does the hole in the ground move forward between phases? Hole in the ground? Oh! Oh, that's true! I understand. Yeah, that the gate does disappear into a hole, and the hole does just move. That sure is a thing. Jim go pick up his mighty scatter shot. We appreciate the commitment that he saw it was the slingshot and went, I'm mighty mode, and then hit the Thunder Dragon with it. Good job! I have never thought about this before. Thank you, chat. Alright, do we need both small keys? We do not. We are resetting? Where did David save? Outside of Skirbo? We are is the Wii, variant that is VR, but for your Wii. I don't think it actually went to market at any point, however. Missed opportunity. David does not have any mitts. This is true. The mitts were on Melara and the Skyloft trial, and the, I believe, Song of the Hero part that Jim has that let him do the Skyloft trial was in Skyview Beetle locked. So David does not have that, and has not been back to Skyloft to do Melara yet. Let's see if Jim will also be doing the Death Warp. It looks like he is, because he did not move the other minecart, so it seems like we are dying. Oh, hey, look, bombs. I wonder what those... Ow! I wonder what those are for.
The
Ow.
Skirbo music during Tantalus is throwing me off a lot.
Oh, does he have random music on?
Uh-huh.
We Are is the opening theme of Tri-Piece, the Zelda-themed One Piece remake. I will not be watching that. Oh, we're dying to the electric tube. That's what we're doing. That's because I'm a coward. Openly, I admit so. Thank you, Pride. Thank you for outing me in front of the internet. Hello, my name is Pippi in a top hat, and I am a coward. Alright, Jim's taking very, very similar routing through Lanayru as David, and David fighting Tantalus. A very long boss fight. This is, I want to say, by far the longest boss fight in the game. You just gotta go through a lot of cycles. That's why we allow Tantalus skip, so that you can skip it at the cost of permanently deleting an item that we don't currently know if it's alive or dead, so we will not be permanently deleting an item. I wish I could answer if this was the Goma of SSR. However, I know nothing about Ocarina of Time or its randomizer. So, Momo, do you know about Ocarina of Time or its randomizer?
I do. I do think Lyric is more referring to Wind Waker, though.
Oh. Right, that also is called Goma.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
Yes. The Zelda games are very original.
My brain... my brain does, like, a Levias Biolocite thing with Goma and Wind Waker, and is like, yeah, that's Valoo. You are not fighting Levias, you are fighting Biolocite, and you are not fighting Valoo, you are fighting Goma. Goma's 2 seconds in Ocarina of Time randomizer? Good to know.
It is. It's very, very easy.
I would say that Scaldera in Skyward Sword, even if you have a good sword, there's like a lot of knowledge checks involved in doing a really optimized Scaldera, because based on what sword you have, you want to do different damage at different cycles. I've never noticed Goma having nearly that much involved. I always thought Goma was just do damage. Am I wrong in that? By the way, GG's on the Tringle over there.
I think if I read that correctly, that is the Triforce of Courage.
Okay. Then I don't know what the one in Elden was.
I think it was Power.
We're still looking for Wisdom, which was hinted, probably. Alright, Jim's about to get his C chart and be really sad, because it was all the way over here. Also, I think Tantalus was just mean to David on that snipe. There is a very sketchy way to skip all of his tentacles coming at you with their little weird snappy teeth by sniping his eye before he gets to you. It is consistent. It feels inconsistent, and sometimes you have a smaller window than others just because Tantalus was feeling quirky that day.
Yeah, so you can deal damage to Tantalus in phase 1 with the bellows. Only in the US 1.0 version of the game.
This is true. The US 1.0 version of Skyward Sword is the actual 1.0. All the other languages are essentially a 1.1, and there are several differences. None of them super, super large. None of them really casually relevant between the versions, but the most rando relevant ones are giving Tantalus Dry Eye and Where is Jim going? Jim just turned around and then got owned by a
It's
ampless.
just his pinging. I think he forgot.
Oh.
It's just crystals, but...
But giving Tantalus a dry eye and, also doing Ancient Cistern Clip, which we will not be seeing this seed. Oh, it's a glaucoma test. Oh, wow. Tantalus really doesn't like getting tested for glaucoma. Blowing his eye with the gust bellows, though, is actually the fastest way to kill him consistently. You can theoretically be just as fast with the sword, but you would have to be, like, dealing him damage on the first frame possible by pacing your sword slashes to exactly how long it takes. I don't actually know if that's even possible, if it lets you go fast enough. But the Gust Bellows just deals damage as on the first frame possible the entire time, and you don't have to think about it. The only thing you have to make sure of is if you are going to try to skip the portion of the second phase, that you have your bow out before you jump in the void, because otherwise you will not have time to get the snipe in. Also, new checks on David's side. We're going to set up Pippet and, what's her name on a date? Karain. They gave him a rock.
I got a rock.
Me too. Let's see if David goes and picks up one of his pairs of mitts. It seems like Magma mitts is probably not required for any reason this seed, or at least not hard required. But one pair of mitts at minimum is required. Yes, and Jim is swimming in gratitude crystals. Golden, do you know how much all sanity I play? I play with bat 80. No! David, no! I'm so sorry that your motion controls have done this to you. Alright, let's see if Jim books it for, Sand Ship.
Still missing one sword and one tringle.
Yep. Let's see, what do we have left? We have, Brain is not braining. I'm not sure. Hold on one second. I'm going to be whisked into the void for a moment. I got interrupted by a dog. It was very cute.
I love your dog.
I also love my dog.
Vimy, I have to agree with you. Root for Sanity is one of the best settings. I can't wait for tax day.
Oh. Are we having a tax day race? Vimy, you wanna set up a tax day race? I'll help you design settings. I want to race on tax day. Of all the times for a puppy to interrupt me, that was honestly a pretty excellent timing because I think I did not miss any checks. And I'm right in time for David to go check out how many gratitude crystals does David have? Not enough. Well, we're not seeing new checks right now. We could later. What checks haven't we seen yet? I'm still... Front of Fire Sanctuary is all that's coming up in my brain.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying is, sad that Jim skipped that.
I feel like after he's done with Sandship, he kind of has no choice but to go back. Which, it's fairly easy to go back, so...
Yeah. I guess
Give it
also our third piece of the Triforce could be on Zelda's Blessing.
This is true. LMF is not in Logic this seed. It is not one of our required dungeons, and we have empty unrequired dungeons on, meaning that, the seed will select 3 dungeons that, you need to finish, and the other, 2 will be dead. 3
Oh, also,
will be
we
dead.
have not seen Rupion High Ledge in Lake Floria yet.
This is true.
Nobody had Beetle when they went there.
It would not surprise me if that was a sword, because the swords are relatively flat, and that's really hard to see.
They do stick up a bit, though. It's definitely not a Tringle. The Triforces are huge. Yeah, we did see LMF because LMF being raised allows you to get 2 checks. One of them is Fledge's crystals that we have not done. I forgot we couldn't have gotten the beetle from Fledge. I forgot that we have LMF on main node and not raised. Funny that's a beetle locked beetle. But Fledge's crystals, which we will not be doing, and the other one is the chest on top of LMF, which Jim pinged. I believe David probably did too, and was nothing, so. Brig is, in fact, also a beetle. We did get a hint for that one.
David has the title screen music right now, and it's really throwing me off.
David is also going backwards, like, or not backwards, but on the retread route of Deep Woods. Man, I never do that. Like, I think it's usually faster to just go to the sky and come back. I'm not sure what the exact timing shakedown is.
It's gotta be pretty close.
Yeah.
Squid carving! Oh, and since David has mitts now, we can see where the small key actually is here.
Yeah, oh, true.
I forgot about that.
That is a place that could also be problematic. All right, David's gotta confirm for us. What is it? Oh.
Okay, so if that's the small key, that means that 3i is something.
Unless it wasn't pinging and I was wrong, but I thought it was pinging. I thought it was, so,
This could be interesting.
yeah. Also, Jim shot a lamp.
Good job, Jim.
Jim is also skipping treasure room. A nice time-saving call. He got his small key, he got his Skirvo fight over with, he's going straight to the boss, and you can ping treasure room from there, and he just double-checked to make sure only one thing was pinging.
But that it has to be
is our
a
small
key.
key. Yeah, that he does not need. Oh, that Keese is employee of the seed, I think.
What a mean Keese.
What a
You're
jerk.
a mean one, Mr.
Mr. Keese. That was really in sync on my end. I'm aware it wasn't on Restream.
Your wings go super flappy. You're annoying as hell, Mr. Keese.
My brain was going to, you're as cuddly as a cactus, you're as charming as a moldorm?
Are Moldorms charming? I'm confused.
Well, they're supposed to be not charming. It's you're as charming as an eel. I'm trying to think of what is a Zelda eel. Wait, was Three Eyes not pinging?
Was it not?
David didn't go for it.
I guess
Oh,
it wasn't.
Morpheal! Thank you.
Morpheal.
Thank you,
I'm trying to think of the name of that boss.
You're as charming as a cactus. You're
Also,
as
yeah,
cuddly
MM
as
has eels.
Morpheal. Mr. Keese.
Pippi, we need to write this now.
I'm still waiting for the Phineas and Ferb opening, but it's SSR. Discovering a bit trick that doesn't exist, or finding the Triforce of Power.
Burning.
We wrote this at one point.
There's 104 checks or more than logic, something, whatever it was.
Yeah. There's 120 or more checks in logic. I forget the rest. I have it written somewhere.
And somebody stabbed demise to end it.
Yeah.
You guys
So
need
the
to pick that
regular
back up. That was
problem for all
comedy
of our
gold.
runners.
That was comedy gold. You need to pick that back up.
I don't think so, because Jim didn't go for it while he was in Lanayru. Jim tends...
The hint said gratitude crystals and no other important items.
Yeah, that means nothing. Don't question the fact that I'm looking for this document now. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. Don't.
It's probably in our DM somewhere.
I have to find what Google account it's on.
I'm kind of hoping that David just goes for Fire Sanctuary without Magma Mist.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I think my prediction is that there's a sword in front half of Fire Sanctuary, and Triforce on Zelda's Blessing.
It would be very funny if it's Triforce on Zelda's Blessing.
Good snipe, Jim.
Excellent. Well, I can't find it right now. I have too many documents on my Google Drive. I'm very sorry. We'll find it later. Wait, is this? I found it! Just kidding. Sorry. This has been a trip of mine.
Are we gonna get a live performance?
I feel like that's not what people signed up for when they signed up to watch a Skyward Sword randomizer race. Oh, we also have Thunderhead. I forgot about Thunderhead. Both of our runners now have access to that.
Oh.
That's 4 checks we haven't seen yet.
I
so it
completely
might
forgot
be in
about
there.
Thunderhead.
Who's ahead at the moment? So Jim has completed all of his dungeons. And David has not, but we on Restream have still not seen the location of 2 swords and 1 piece of the Triforce. Only one of those swords is required, but neither of our runners have found it. Our runners have done different checks so far, so it's hard to say who is, strictly speaking, ahead, though Jim does have a jump on a lot of the required checks. And Jim does seem to be heading in the direction of Thunderhead, which is, as I just said, checks we have not seen yet. So, we'll see. We'll see. Probably worst case for Jim here would be that the required items are in the front half of Fire Sanctuary, which Jim did not do despite the fact that he finished Fire Sanctuary. But he does have a bit of an edge at the moment. We also haven't seen the last 2 checks on Betro. We haven't seen, oh, oof. Unlucky there. We haven't seen, Zelda's Blessing, which could be our final piece of the Triforce. It would be really funny if both of our swords are in Thunderhead inside Isle of Songs. It would make me giggle. I really hope that's the case.
So Bat 50 was hinted dead.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
I don't think have seen Bat 40.
We have not.
So there's got to be something in here or on Bat 40 is my guess.
Jim also hasn't seen, I believe, Pipit's crystals, but we know it's dead. I don't think he's seen item from Colin either. Oh, there is nothing in here, and Jim's batteries are still low.
I'm waiting for his Wiimote to die at this point. Like, what?
He does this. So it's really looking like probably front of Fire Sanctuary, and
although David did ping the front of Fire Sanctuary at the start, and I don't remember there being a lot of pings.
Well, so there is First Trap Magma, which does not ping. So there is at least 1 check that we do not know about. David opting to warp back questionably faster probably shakes out about the same. But because you have to watch all of these interactions that you wouldn't have to watch otherwise. Jim's going to go do Ghost and Pipit's crystals, which we know to be dead, but he doesn't know that. So, ha ha ha, as chat and comms, we can feel superior to lowly runner who does not know these things.
What?
We can feel accomplished in our having the benefit of watching two runners. How dare Jim not have seen a cutscene that he has not seen?
I'll be honest, ever since I made the Gara hee joke, I've just been thinking like, Gary Heem's favorite song would definitely be Bad. Cause I'm bad, I'm bad. That's been in my brain for the last 15 minutes.
Reminder that both of your commentators are Eepy Sleepies.
I am so tired.
We are going to be asking our runners if they are also Eepy Sleepies.
We also haven't seen any other bows besides our starting one. That's a good point.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, if you start with a bow, the others don't ping? That's good to know.
One of those weird ones. I see. Yeah, they are guaranteed, not required.
I'm super proud of you.
Using a Pathfinder fighting Lizalfos or doing Dispatch under Tower. Discovering a bit trick that doesn't exist or finding the Triforce of Power. Quality. Quality.
Quality.
Do you have a snack or do you wait to cook dinner? This is a good question. This is a good question indeed. Oh wait, does Jim have Beetle's Insect Cage? I missed that he picked that up. I don't know where he got that from.
I don't know where he got that from either.
He has it though. And it's a sword!
And it's a sword!
Alright.
I think you check Zelda's Blessing here.
I think you could check Zelda's Blessing.
I think you check Zelda's Blessing here.
If anybody is unaware, Zelda's Blessing is the check in the game that has the most requirements. As in, you must have enough swords to complete the game, and you also must have the Goddess Harp, and you must have completed all of your required dungeons. So the only thing it can have that is required is either a Triforce piece or something that leads to a Triforce piece. So, well, we're going to bat 40 first, but do we use Zelda's Blessing here?
I would.
Did Jim get
Probably
away
after bat 40
with skipping front of Fire Sanctuary? Is the question. I'm rooting for it. It would be neat. That was not it. It is not bat 40.
He's gonna get bat 70.
Oh my god.
Because he
It's
can.
pouch! Oh.
The 4 bottles!
Get pouched.
Get pouched.
Wait.
Wait.
Alright, I think you go. Yeah, we're save scumming? What are we save scumming to do?
We're
going to the sky!
Come on,
We're going to the
Zelda's
sky.
Blessing.
Honestly, if he's going to get Zelda's Blessing, like, do you even save scum there, considering you can
Warp back.
warp to start? I think it probably is a break even.
Yeah.
Because you do have to sit through the rest of the like dialogue Oh, we're going to see item at top of Floria. Did David do that?
No. But Jim didn't peek it while David did.
Yeah. I could not tell what it was when David peeked it. Oh, apparently Jim found what it was, and I
Yeah.
still couldn't see it, man. Yeah, you are gonna have to sit through the rest of the dialogue. You can't just reset out of it if you don't save scum it, but you don't have to sit through the title screen if you warp to start. So honestly, I'd opt for the warp to start. But probably about even. We're going to Zelda. We're going to Zelda.
Let's go with Zelda's blessing.
I believe. I believe. This has been a long casino for how fast we got all of our items early in the seed. Usually the longer Season 3 seeds are longer because you don't get a key item for a long time and you have to do a casino without a key item. But this one has just been a lot of casino at the end. No, the wrong one.
It's a sword.
That's funny.
That's really funny.
That is an unrequired sword right there. Because that is a 5 sword locked sword. Which Jim did not save scum away because he's gonna want that. It'll make Horde faster. Yeah, so that sure is vanilla TMS, and there's David picking up his Tringle, which we knew about. So I don't know if there was anything else pinging in front half of Fire Sanctuary, but there is at least one check that we can go to because there is a check that doesn't ping, so it might just have to be there. We already saw the Thunderhead checks. The Thunderhead checks... Oh, something is pinging. It might be required to be a small key, though. Or have a chance to be a small key. That something has to be a small key, I believe. But Thunderhead checks only go up to White Sword. You get one sword for having Goddess... Or one check for having Goddess Sword, one check for having Goddess Longsword, and one check for having Goddess White Sword. You do not get one for having Master Sword or TMS. So we have seen all of Thunderhead. I am gonna assume it's gotta be either the ping or first trap magma. And I am so sorry, David, who is entering into our pretty much dead Boko base for that Gratitude Crystal Baron blocker on Fire Dragon's reward. And also, God, that bomb trick that Jim just did is so swaggy. It saves, like, a second. Like, it seems like it should save a lot of time. It doesn't. It's just really swaggy. It's a trick that takes confidence and gusto that I do not have. Oh, I'm guessing this has to be a small key because otherwise, we would not be making pit stop here. Oh, is that a ping? We are looking for one more small key as well, so it could be one more small key. Also, my lights just flickered. I'm scared. There we go.
Woo!
Oh! David hit my favorite goddess cube!
Yay! I literally call that cube CubeDavid because I know he likes to hit it.
He's pointing at it.
That's go mode for Mr. Gymnast86.
That sure is. That is my favorite goddess cube because, I've hit it way too many times by accident while trying to kill that Froak. Yeah, unfortunately it didn't quite pay off for David to delay doing Fire Sanctuary. He probably would have made up quite a bit of ground if he had just jetted to Fire Sanctuary with the items that he had. Because there was nothing that hard required magma mitts in the entire seed. So there was really no need to go get that stuff. He probably should, like, you know, hindsight's 20/20. To have the best chance of winning, he probably would have, like, gone straight to Fire Sanctuary without mitts, and then, gone back until he found the remaining Triforce. Also, yes. Yes, I have a favorite goddess cube. And yes, I'm a nerd. Yeah, obviously, I think David played very well, and I do think that the correct mentality to have with a lot of, like, racing in general is to play to full clear, and David played to full clear, so I do think his routing was, as close to correct as you can be, you know? But since Jim does have TMS, he can kind of just mow down those Bokos in the first section of Horde. That's really the only thing TMS helps with, is it stuns the Bokos, and you don't have to really mess with them. Let's see if Jim gets Horde Skip. Whee!
Whee!
Excellent. And like a true Skyward Sword speedrunner, he did not pull out the sailcloth.
Hell
Time
yeah.
loss in rando, but, like, no categories of the Skyward Sword vanilla get the sailcloth. Where were the other two swords? We had one sword was on turning in the Horned Colossus Beetle to Beetle, and the other sword was on Zelda's Blessing. Would you like to view the Wii Motion Plus instructional video?
Yes, I would.
Too
The amount of
bad.
times I've accidentally hit yes during that. Having the TMS is very convenient for this. It just speeds up this endgame a little bit more.
David having trouble with a barrel. There we go. Yeah, TMS also, there's two different variants of the Girahim 3 Phase 2 section. Nice purple hand skip, by the way. There's the variant where you have instant Skyward Strike charging, and the variant where you don't. Another purple hand skip. What a cooperative Girahim. But if you have instant charging Skyward Strikes, the like stun lock for Girahim 3 is pretty much free once you get used to the inputs. If you don't, it's a very, very tight window. Just me crying, and we have to deal with that window in edits. But did David save?
Yeah.
I didn't see David save. Somebody please tell me that David saved.
That's my biggest fear whenever I'm doing bit, is not saving.
He did bit, so hopefully he saved.
I believe.
I want to believe. Here's hoping, because the RBM he did was his boss key. I'm really hoping I'm the silly goof. Fire Sanctuary is one of the only dungeons where you can bonk that tree with your run file instead of your bit magic file, which is very silly.
I did not know that.
It only opens the lower gate, but it does open a gate. That is
a very clean demise out of him.
That was a gutsy jump slash that David just did. GG's to Jim.
GG's to Jim, who is officially the winner of this best of 3 and will be moving on to winner's bracket round 3.
He didn't save.
Oh.
Oh no.
Silly goose is you, the silly goose is me.
Oh.
Oh no.
David, you didn't save.
No!
To be fair, I basically learned how to do the bit warp movement like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't practice it at all.
Nah, you're good. It's fine.
Very valid. Anyway.
GG's to both of you.
Yeah,
What'd you think of the seed?
GG's.
GG's.
I feel like none of my gambles really paid off.
I didn't feel like you gambled all that much.
I mean, I went... Yeah, I guess the direct descent back into Elden wasn't that much of a gamble considering how much tech density there is.
Well, you both did that, so...
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, when I saw those bombs at Upper Skyloft, I was like, yeah, I don't like this.
And then Jim skipped over the harp.
Yeah.
And basically almost last locationed it and gave me a heart attack.
Jim, did you know that
Don't you mean a
chest
harp
was
attack?
pinging?
I didn't seem to register that it was the first time.
Okay, because we were... chat was, going on a hunt of the VOD to try to figure out if you had picked up the harp, because neither of us could recall you picking up the harp or going over there, but people are like, he did get the harp, but it was just because you got, like, 3 harp-shaped objects, but in the first, like, 20 minutes of the seed, just not the harp.
Yeah.
I
only realized because of the angle I tried to ping the Volcano Ascent chest at. I was like, that looks too far away to be the Volcano Ascent chest. Which is why I then went back for it.
We're glad you went back for it.
That could have been disastrous.
Other important question for both of our runners today. Are you EP?
Yes.
Not particularly at the moment, no.
All right.
I was yawning before the race
I
started.
expected to be EP.
Chat, who won the bet on Jim is the only one who isn't EP?
We had some interesting comms today. We're both very tired.
I'm EP. But yeah, any other thoughts on the seed? Momo, did you have any other questions? I don't remember if we had any other questions.
The seed seemed a little bit more interesting than your last one.
I was gonna say,
It
David.
didn't feel as straightforward. Yeah.
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 David, you got a lot of mileage initially out of, you went straight to Sandsea after clearing out most of Farron, and Jim went back, went to Skyloft, got the mitts, and then went back to Eldon, and, like, all of the rest of the items were in Lanayru, except for that one piece of the Triforce that was in Eldon.
Oh,
so
boy.
like, you kind of did get a lot of mileage out of that. It was very interesting.
Also, yes, vanilla TMS did happen.
That was true.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You
Wild,
took
honestly.
a very similar approach at the beginning, and then David went into Sandsea, and then Jim, you refused to leave Eldon.
Yes.
Yes.
Now the sorry, I'm trying to think of what I want to say here. The skip over me. I just literally lost my train of thought.
Happened.
Jim, I'm so sorry you couldn't skip front half of Fire Sanctuary.
Yeah,
I was rooting
unfortunately
for you.
not. I would like to complain about the Baron hints this seed.
Yep.
Right? Caves was the
Online
only
or off?
place actually hinted Baron, which, like, wow, thanks. So it's like, okay, so every other region has to have something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boko base laughs.
Boko Base had 5
I was-
crystals.
Infuriated by
Lake
those.
Floria had Slingshot.
Yes.
Gorge only had Slingshot.
Yes.
Thunderhead only had Gratitude crystals.
Yes.
And the only Betro reward that meant anything was Bottle on Betro 5,
Yes.
which we found every single bottle, so big whoop.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Loaded Village. You hardly ever get to say Loaded Village, but that was
This is
claw
true.
shots and
Yep.
magma mitts on Village.
And Sandship only had the hinted beetle that was in reality not required.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Neither of you guys got the beetle on that was hinted on Fletch.
Yep.
And both found 2 other beetles, which I found pretty surprising, actually.
Well,
Because I
Because they
expected
couldn't,
one of y'all to grab that.
they couldn't go to Fledge. We forgot that you need to raise LMF to do Fledge in these settings.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty
That
much the
beetle
whole
was
reason why
beetle locked.
I didn't do Fletch, because when I
Oh, that's
went
right.
into Fire Note, I had Hook Beetle already, so there was no reason whatsoever to go to Fletch.
I
Yeah.
forgot you can't buy stamina potions without raising that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never mind,
Weird
ignore me.
interaction. Yeah. Interesting seed. Interesting seed.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? Complaints?
Concerns.
Calls
I
for
guess
validation.
vanilla TMS was interesting because it meant you had to get the other 5 swords.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was wild. We were really hoping that that would be the Tringle. We were not expecting it to be a sword.
Yeah.
Also, thank you both of you for picking up the mighty scatter shot. It's pretty fun.
Yes.
When I saw that it was a slingshot, I was heavily debating just abandoning it, but I was like, nah, I cannot do this. I pick up basically every meme item anyway, if I see it.
Oh, sometimes you gotta.
You had
Yeah.
to. You had to.
Alrighty. So, Jim, you will be moving on to Winner's Bracket Round 3. And to not spoil the race that raided into us, I will not be officially announcing who you are against, but how are you feeling about moving forward?
I don't know. Excited to play more Rando.
Rando!
I like playing Rando. It's fun.
It is fun.
Based.
Alrighty, and David, you will be up against the winner of Firework versus Pack. How are you feeling about that?
I hope to get some revenge for Remlitz for Firework because he placed directly ahead of me in quals 2 separate times, once with a 1 second difference.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, I remember that.
And
That's
against Pack,
ridiculous.
against my fellow Ruplaneru opponent, who absolutely destroyed me in those 2 races we had.
Well, good
You've
luck.
got
I hope
this.
to make
you.
it a closer battle this time.
You've got this. Your gameplay was super clean. Really, like, what was the swag trick that I called out? Oh, it was rolling past the spider in Skyview.
Oh,
So
yeah.
swaggy, so cute.
Thanks a bunch.
Loved it.
David, I've just loved seeing your progression and how you've gotten so much better at this game, and it makes me really happy.
Aw, thanks.
But regardless, if there are no other thoughts, I think we can go ahead and head on out here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and supporting ZSR. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for listening to mine and Pippi's nonsense. Shout out to the runners. Make sure to go follow both of the runners. They are absolutely amazing. And shout out to our trackers as well. We've got Temple Talk and Joshi. Thank you so much to the both of you. And shout out to my co-com Pippi for dealing with my nonsense.
Shout out to Momo for agreeing to do this with me at 7 a.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Momo's in Pacific.
I got like 3 hours of sleep. Anyways, we're gonna go right on over to the Marine Mammal Rescue and go look at some cute otters. So,
Otters.
shout out to our restreamer, Tomotalk. Thank you.
That's adorable. Are the otters playing Skyward Sword?
I hope so.
Woo.